on the previous episode.
My God. So yeah, let us know your favorite band from the era. Dude, I'm gonna be doing that at work in a couple of days. Just people are gonna look at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Take it away, John friggin' Smith.
Welcome to the rabbit hole, where all you knew is wrong, and rules are just suggestions made up as we go along. And who knows what you'll find here, maybe heaven or your worst fears. Whatever it may be, it's yours to keep forever.
Just in time. You've entered a rabbit hole. Please go down further.
Where there's philosophy hidden within stupidity.
It's because we were kids when a lot of that music that
that happened with the spiky hair and the fucking dude.
Okay, fuck you. Okay, you're Mexican. When spiky hair hit like that again, when that became a style again, you were able to partake in that. Why are you doing the finger gun to your head thing right now? Like, what the fuck? You're just being you're being a word that I can't even think of. Hello, and welcome back to Just in Time with the J&T Baggers. A little bit different here. Flying solo. This is DJ, aka Millie Van Nilsen. Doesn't really matter which one you call me. I respond to both. So yeah, both of my co-hosts have gone and flaked on me. So I'm kind of here by myself. I debated on whether or not to release an episode, but I kind of like having that routine of recording every week. And usually if one of the guys flakes, the other one makes. And Rook's usually been the one that's more consistent, but this time I knew it was going to happen eventually. That their flakiness would eclipse, and I would just be the earth in darkness. So, welcome to the dark rabbit hole. Thanks again to John friggin' Smith for another wonderful intro. Even though, the other guys aren't here to enjoy it, I am, and you are. So, let's, it's a little weird for me. I'm by myself. I kind of having a little fun with it. Trying not to curse, too, a little bit, just because that's fun. I like to throw stupid challenges at us, and that's one of them. Also trying not to stutter and do the O thing. I probably won't succeed in either of those. Probably won't succeed in the cursing thing, either. So, let's get right into a little funkiness. I know we usually come in, usually it's we, so it's not usually just me by myself, but there you have it. Usually we kind of come in on some random little nuisance that we like to just kind of amplify and make just into the most evil thing that we've ever encountered. And today was actually going to be this one's actually going to be no different there. It's a little weird to present because I'm by myself. It's easier when the guys are there because I can just throw examples at them, but I guess I'll throw an example at you. This is one of those ones where if you've ever spent all day with the same person or just around the same people and different people are coming and going, you kind of maybe you hear somebody just kind of repeating the same joke or telling the same exact story all day. An example. We were all gathered. It was many years ago. I was in high school. We all gathered, a lot of my family on my mom's side, we gathered at a hospital because my great-grandmother was, they were getting ready to take her off life support. Long story short, everybody was coming to visit and say their goodbyes. And, sorry about that. Who was it? One of my cousins. We got there kind of early, so we were within kind of the second group of family members to show up, and everybody was kind of just hanging out right outside the hospital because my great grandma, she was right near the entrance, so we didn't need to do the waiting room thing. We were all just outside on benches and whatnot. And one of my cousins, as soon as we pulled up and got out of the car, she comes up, she gives us a hug. Everybody's kind of got that little slight sadness and stuff. And she makes a little joke. It was oh, this is the crappiest family reunion I've ever been to. And And, upon first hearing it, you're like, yeah, it kind of makes you think for a second, like, yeah, this family, we need to get together more without people dying first, which still doesn't really happen. We get together when people die, and then there's drama. Yeah, we can't even send people off peacefully anymore. But, like I said, first hearing it wasn't that annoying, but as the day went on, more and more family, poured in kind of, one by one type stuff. And every time someone showed up, she did the same thing. I'm going to give them a hug and then make that stupid little joke. That's the crappiest family reunion I've ever been to. By the third time, I wanted to kill her punchline for her, but usually was hoping that she was going to skip it just once. Not once. And for some reason, I was within earshot every time. It was a little nail. It was like a little nail. And I've had it happen at work too, where somebody, like maybe someone gets fired, and the next day, whoever you're working with all day, every time someone new comes in or something, hey, did you hear what happened, man? Did you hear about that guy getting fired? And those are annoying when they're telling a story, because every time the story slightly changes a little bit. The opening is always the same. Did you hear what happened? And then they start adding to the story, taking away from the story. They start having to tell you their reaction to the story. My God. Now, see, usually this is the point where my co-hosts would be chiming in with their own examples or their own little, situations. But because they're not here, we move on, which is weird. I know that's weird. Weed of the day. Since usually we tend to forget what we're actually going to be talking about. Weed of the day, we've been trying to do that at least every time we record. We miss quite a few times. It's easy for us to forget shit. There's a cuss. But what am I smoking here? It's Gorilla Glue. Not number 4, but just Gorilla Glue. Not bad. Wasn't too expensive and is very stony. Smells very delicious. A little bit of like an earthy smell. Not an earthy smell. That sounds almost like that piney, slightly minty, but definitely very crystally. And this looks like it hasn't been manicured very well. There's still kind of a little bit of leaves not wrapped around, but kind of hanging there. Someone didn't trim very well, but it doesn't matter. It all smokes the same, and it's fun. So, what else do we have on the agenda today? I was going to just start making fun of my friends, honestly, for being flakes. Just because, damn it. Sometimes this, I think we've made note of it before, that scheduling can be an issue. And hell, I know a lot of our podcast buddies might be listening. You might know what it's like too, when you have even one co-host. Just trying to get 1 day a week. That's it, just 1 day a week can be actually kind of irritating. There seems to always be obstacles in the way. But that's why I decided to just say screw it and go solo today. Because honestly, I kind of felt like a jackass yesterday. I was like waiting all day. Nobody was texting me back. That's usually what happens too. These sons of guns, they ignore me a lot. Hell, even when we got our sponsor, Boss Boxes, I couldn't, and neither of them, they found out from Instagram when I took over and posted it. Neither of them were texting me back or calling me back, so I was like, all right, you guys are going to find out the news, like everybody else did. Which, whatever. They were, of course, then they got excited. Yeah, if they see any benefit, that's when they want to jump back on board. I'm just kidding, of course. Am I? Who knows? So, I think I already said thanks to John freaking Smith. I have to remind you, don't have to, but I want to remind you to go to johnfreakinsmith.com or to look him up on iTunes. And yeah, check out the album is Songs of the Great Collapse. The song that he uses for the intro is Yours to Keep. A great story behind how that song ended up being our theme song. I don't remember which episode you'd have to go to. I think it's episode 60. Yeah. But we definitely, that's a very sentimental thing, the intro for us. Yeah, it was a big deal. Big deal. It still is a big deal for us. So yeah, Well, I'm gonna go back to dealing with the flaky friend thing, because at first I was gonna just walk past it, but now it's just sounding like something now I just want to roast them again a little bit, just slightly. Don't worry, it won't be as bad as last time. I'm not angry, but damn it, it causes issues sometimes. Hell, we've lost kind of collaborations and interviews just because we couldn't get together. Hell, it's taken a 4-part thing with Rob over at the Random Ramblings with Rob podcast. Took us about about 2 months or so to get all done. Cause and that was kind of sad too, cause we were the individual ones should have been the easy ones. Those were the hardest ones, and then getting all 4 of us together, that actually we ended up getting it like within a couple weeks of trying to schedule it. So there you go. By the way, my interview is actually up this week on randomrodcast.com, I think. There'll be a link in the description. But yeah, I went one-on-one. I think that's also why I got confidence, or not confidence, but why I was like, I'll do an episode by myself today. We're doing a lot of firsts lately, first sponsor, first interview with the ladies and Bobby Del Rio from my roommates and escort. You notice the tone of this thing is so much different when I'm by myself. I'm just really calm. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm usually quite the introverted person. I think that's why nobody at my work nobody at my work knows I do this. Not only because I don't tell them, and it's easy, and I'm usually pretty silent there, but also because, I think my voice might sound different when I'm at work too. I yell a lot more. I'm not that mean though. But I actually did have some stuff on there. Oh, I actually had a banned song. I might have to look that up while we're doing some other stuff here. But another shout out I wanted to give out to our buddies over at all our podcast friends over at Modern Family, and everyone who follows us social media, Instagram, Facebook. Actually, the Facebook page has been getting some more activity. I might have to start that group finally. But as far as since I'm kind of detailing my experience as I'm doing this solo episode of being my first solo episode, I'm noticing the breathing is a little bit tough for me, because usually I just try to get it all out in one breath, and trying not to breathe in because it sounds really creepy, and I don't want you to have the impression that I'm masturbating while I'm doing this, because I absolutely am not, although it probably would be possible. But but usually I get time for breathing when my friends are speaking and chiming in. My God, it's so much different. I give much props to everybody that does this solo, and I could see why a lot of people do it scripted, especially when they're doing it solo, because I'm trying to carry on a conversation with myself, but I'm speaking to somebody that's not responding. And if I just start trying to throw my voice back and forth, it'll sound really crazy. But well, fuck, I'm forgetting everything right now. Well, we were doing the top cities thing for a while there, but oh wait, back to the flaky friends. Yeah, these sons of mothers. That's not even a lie, huh? Sons of mothers. But what's it? These sons of mothers. Yeah, we've had to reschedule a lot of stuff, and hell, there's been times when we just don't even know how to respond. That just to collabs and stuff, just because I try to do like the Three Musketeers thing, where we do everything together, we agree on everything together. No decision gets made without the whole approval of the group. But some of the times I've actually had to. I think that's why they didn't take the JTG interview this seriously, because I couldn't wait for that. I kind of had to jump on it, and you live and you learn. We should have came more prepared. Honestly, he seemed a little bit off-put instantly by us asking him to introduce himself a little bit and tell a little bit about himself. But hell, it's not like we're a wrestling podcast where we didn't want to just all of a sudden just you know who he is. Because I'm sorry, but no matter what you do, not everybody's going to know who you are all the time. And that's that. But that was fun. And that one we almost missed too. Hell, when we went on #Blackout show, actually, that was another one. We had scheduled for like 8 o'clock on a Saturday or something, and 8 o'clock comes around. I've got the mic set up. I'm sitting here. I've got them on Skype, and you know what I mean. They're ready to hit record, and yeah, the guys were dragging ass. I was I was texting them, calling them, like, hey guys, what's going on, man? We said 8 o'clock. Come on, come on. Because that kind of stuff, when it's real easy for someone to just move on, and just like, whatever, even if they have to come back to it. But that was one we wanted to get that one taken care of because they were doing their podiversary episode. We wanted to be a part of the celebration. Not too much to ask, is it? Maybe it is. Maybe it is from them. Nah. Like I said, I did. Those two are actually two of my very, very best friends, though. That, you know what I mean? Especially nowadays. Seems like all my friends just end up moving and then stop talking to me. I don't think I think there's a connection more to the moving than just, I just don't want to talk to you anymore. It's more, I'm one of those people that I don't talk on the phone much. I don't like talking on the phone. I've never been that type, especially because people always want you to talk about yourself and stuff. They go, so what you been up to? So, they keep asking questions and stuff. That was actually a problem I used to have with my younger brother when he went to the Navy and stuff, and we were not around each other as much. We would call each other, and both of us wanted to hear the other person talk about themselves. And it would end up being like a lot of silent conversations of us just like, so how you been, man? And we both were short answer with it too, because we didn't want to take up each other's time, I guess, with too much talking. It was kind of weird. It was just like, so what have you been up to, man? How's everything going? Just Navy life. Got a wife. Oh, okay. So what about you, man? Working, podcasting. Oh, that's cool. And that would be like the whole conversation. That's why we ended up kind of resorting to texting more, because at least we didn't have to have the awkward silence. But so yeah, shout out to him for that. Big inspiration too for a lot of my attempted storytelling and stuff on here. He was someone I used to tell stories and try to slightly embellish them just to make them laugh, and hell, it's totally different doing it on a podcast though. So yeah, we can move on from the bougie friends or the flaky friends. They'll be back probably. At least one of them better be back next week. If I have to go solo again next week, then this becomes Just in Time with DJ, and that just doesn't sound as interesting. I know I usually try to pretend like I'm taking point kind of here when we're all together, but truth be told, it's just to try to keep a slight compass on each episode while we're going, is just to try to keep some, because otherwise it just keeps going random, kind of like it's going right now. I'm just kind of all over the place. I'm a very erratic thinker, and not in any good way either. It's just more like to quit making left turns and stay somewhere, and I don't always like to stay. Sorry for a bit of coughing. I'm sorry if I sound nervous too. This is so not used to being. Yeah, I keep saying it, but yeah, and I kind of got through that first part a little bit faster than I thought I would there, so that was a little bit weird. Oh my god, I found a note somewhere that I wrote, scheduling us together is like the end of Captain Phillips. It takes a lot of patience, and then like you have to strike instantly when you get 3 green lights, you know what I mean? Just ding ding ding. All right, get him. Show. Luckily we did get that 4-part thing with Rob, and yeah, part 4 will be coming up in a couple weeks, I'm sure. And I know, well, like I said, my interview's up, Rookie's interview's up actually too, which means that Korn's will be up next week, and yeah, and then that'll be followed by all 4 of us together, and that was actually quite a bit of fun, quite a bit indeed. So yeah. Yeah, now I'm just like looking through some of my random notes that I've written that I never really pull out while we're on the podcast. So yeah, here's a weird, well, it's not weird. I don't know why. I hate rude people, and I deal with them a lot at work, apparently. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just in the kitchen. I don't even deal with customers. That's what's weird. But servers are just as bad as customers. They come up very rude. There's a lot of restaurant culture is very not what I was hoping it would be. It's everybody thinks it's friggin' everybody that works in the kitchen especially seems to think that they actually are on like a Gordon Ramsay reality show or something where it's just, let's just throw each other under the bus as much as possible. And there's way more brown nosing than I would have thought. A whole lot. I don't know. I've always been the type that I think it's because I went to continuation maybe, but I've always been the type that what's the way to say it? Try to let my work speak for itself, I guess. I just kind of go in and just I don't try to yell at everybody and make my presence known as much as I just go in and just start getting to it. You know, if I come into work and it's busy, I don't sit there and try to tell anybody what to do. I just jump in and wherever is lagging, I just go and fix it. And for some reason that concept is weird for a lot of people that I work with. And maybe I'm the weird one. I don't mind. I don't mind that. Because I'm still in charge of the kitchen, so it's weird. I've been noted for subtle leadership. But yeah, rude people though, which was what I was talking about. Yeah, the whole throwing each other under the bus thing. There's a whole lot of that, like, cause servers, like, of course they never want to accept responsibility. They don't want to affect their tips, so of course they're never gonna really want to have to admit to a customer that they did something wrong. Problem is managers even get annoyed with hearing them blame kitchen staff for their mistakes and stuff. It's like, no, you own up to your thing there, because it's usually been said that if your kitchen's messed up like that and your kitchen's not doing their stuff right, then that's a way bigger problem than a server. A server can be replaced, at least at where I work. Servers are replaced way easier than cooks, and I think it's like that for a lot of restaurants. That's why there's no tips really for cooks, because they just get paid a little bit better than they're supposed to. And hell, that's what they've done at my job at times too, just to make sure I don't quit. I can't believe I'm going down such a rabbit hole right now. Yes, by myself, I can do it. I can jump down the rabbit hole by myself. That's cool. I don't mind that. But yeah, I guess I can leave that rude people. That's basically where I end up getting annoyed. Or there's a lot of the whole, like, I don't know, maybe it's because the stereotype, especially here in California, especially in Southern California, is that the kitchen staff is usually just Mexicans. Well, more specifically the paisas, as they're referred to, the don't speak English guys. They just put their head down and do all their work and try not to make any waves. And that's where a lot of servers tend to have their attitude from. They tend to approach them as just like, excuse me, Pepito, you need to fix this now. You screwed up. And they try to tell, no, it says that no, you need to fix this now. And I just don't take kindly to that. I'm the type that and no matter what you race, I don't take that shit. sorry to let another curse out there. I guess this isn't going to be a clean episode, sorry. But yeah, because I just drew up kind of a thought where I've had that happen quite a few times. And they come up and just like, you need to fix this. And then we have tickets there. They're printed out tickets. So I grab it and just like, hey, you need to fix your fucking mistake, and then come back to me later. So yeah, rude. Just don't be rude. Don't be rude to your coworkers. Don't be rude to anybody. Goddamn. If you go to any customer service place, even if they're not miserable working there, you don't have to be a dick. That's all I'm saying. Because that's usually that's part of that bougie attitude of just like, you get paid to serve me, so you're gonna serve me however I say to serve me. Stop it. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? And I can leave it at that. I can leave it at that. I don't want to go too deep into the angry things in there. But yeah. So we're about 20 minutes in, and I'm feeling a little bit weird still. I thought at some point I would start feeling a little bit more comfort, but that's okay. So while my friends are gone, I guess I can't really. Most of our segments are kind of vote based, and kind of conversationally based. So yeah, I can't really do, well, I guess I can do hashtag gay for a day, because last week I actually forgot that John C. McGinley was supposed to be my gay for a day, so there's that. The dead celebrity game, I honestly don't really have one that, but I guess I'm not that mean. I don't just go thinking about which dead celebrity. Korn was just thinking of just left and right, just boom, 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 keep him dead. God. But yeah, so I won't go into that one and stuff. I'll save that for next week, if the guys return, at least one of them, hopefully. Hopefully, no. Even if they don't, I guess I'll just start having to make myself get more comfortable with this and start just, you know what I mean, pushing out some solos every now and then. But while it's just me and you and I, as they say, I will take a second I guess I'll let you in a little bit on me, because we don't often actually talk about ourselves much as far as who we are or anything like that, or anything that goes on with us. We tend to keep that kind of separate, I guess. And I usually do, but I guess well, I mentioned earlier my talking to my little brother and stuff like that. Well, what's it, about a year ago, I actually lost that little brother. He kind of suddenly passed away, natural causes. Won't go into all the details there, but I've spent the last year kind of hiding in the rabbit hole. I guess I've kind of jumped into the podcast a lot more and kind of kept a lot of that to myself, obviously. Although there were subtle hints in some of those episodes back there. What was it? 38, I think it was. Fire Down the Hardy Hole. I don't remember what we were discussing. It might have been 39. But yeah, well, I didn't shout about it. I shouted him out like a couple weeks before, or the week before. But he was actually in the hospital, and it was already it was a weird situation. He was on life support for a few days because they were letting his organs heal, because he was very adamant donor. So during that time span, during those few days, it was actually around my birthday too. So I got a bit of a double whammy last year. What's it? The day before my birthday, we actually recorded that Fire Down the Hardy Hole episode. And during that episode, I was actually under the impression that my birthday was going to be the day that they finally took him off life support. So I was pretty broken up, and I didn't tell Rookie what was going on because, truth be told, I wasn't getting, information was kind of coming at me a little, I don't want to keep using the word erratic, but it was sporadic, I guess. And so as it was going on or whatever, I didn't want to let anything out, at least until after, I guess you could say. So when we recorded that episode, the day before my birthday, I did not let Rookie know anything that was going on. But you could kind of hear it in my voice in that episode compared to a lot of the other ones. But yeah, so my birthday actually ended up going to work under the impression that that was the last day. And then I got a text after I got off work that they were going to give him one more day to let his heart heal. And well, so you know what I mean, just so they could donate that too. And I guess it was supposed to be, it was kind of bittersweet. On one hand, I was like, well, at least my birthday is not tainted forever. But on the other hand, the sympathetic side of me was very, very broken up, because that next day was actually his wife's birthday, and that ended up being the day that it happened. But sorry if I got a little bit weird there. My phone rang. So yeah, that was a little weird. I know it just got real weird and serious for a second, but I'm by myself. I'm letting it in, and because this is like the week that I'm hitting the year mark, so it's kind of I guess I feel a little bit slightly more appropriate finally, or more comfortable talking about it. But so the day after the you know what I mean, the final day, was when The Killing Joke was in theaters, and Rook and I had already committed to go into that, so we went. I told him before we went, finally, like, you know what I mean, because it finally had come to completion. I told him what had happened and what had been going on, and asked him. I actually told him that I should get an Oscar because I sat here for about 2 hours with him conversating the day before my birthday, and he had no idea that there was any like grief going on behind my voice, or like, you know what I mean. I kept it bottled up. I think a little bit of shock might have had to do with it too, of me not wanting to fully accept it at the time. But then we did the Killing Joke thing and recorded that episode. So actually, episodes 39 and 40 are actually two of the hardest episodes I've ever recorded. And luckily at that time we had been keeping a little bit of a backlog because Rook and I were recording twice a week and releasing once a week. So after that I was able to skip recording for a couple weeks and able to upload. So it didn't even look like anything was going, you know what I mean? Nothing had changed really. And that was a little weird, but again, I apologize for that, the seriousness there for a second. But I told Rook like, I should get an Oscar for that. But yeah, we did that episode, took a couple weeks off, and then that's actually what the inspiration for the next episode that came up, episode 41, was Sad Rookie Go Boom. That was the closest I could get to bringing myself to talk about it at all on the podcast or anything like that, was just to not directly bring it up, but for Rook and I to both, because Rook had lost his mom just a year before, so we were both kind of, and I have to give much props to him because he was there for me just as much as a friend as I tried to be there for him when his mom passed. So that's kind of why part of where the bond comes from. Korn the same. And but what was it? So Sad Rookie Go Boom. Yeah, we talked about like movies that we can't watch anymore because they made us too sad, which was probably one of the weirdest things we've ever done. Because first it started off like, you know what I mean, like us just kind of saying what movies we couldn't, you know what I mean, just like, oh yeah, you know. Suddenly, of course, for me, all the brother themed episodes were, or not episodes, but all the brother themed movies and stuff were being taken off, you know, Brother Bear, all that's, you know, Hardball. I still cannot watch Hardball. Yeah, that one's a bit tough. But but it actually turned into a game where Rook and I were both all of a sudden we started telling each other what the other one couldn't watch, like ones that we weren't thinking of. Like all of a sudden I don't remember the examples, but I remember saying, and I'd have trouble listening to that episode, but there were there was a few there where I was naming like mom movies that, you know, and he was going the other way around with, you know, brother movies and hitting me with them, to where we were at the end of that episode we were like, dude, we just played probably the darkest game we've ever played, which is why we've never played it again, because we had toyed with the idea once of putting that into making that game into doing a song version of songs we can't listen to because they hit a little too close to home there. And we decided after doing the movie one that we will not do that, because that game, that's a bit of a dark game, and because music goes just as far as movies, and we didn't want to keep going down that one. So shout out to Rook for being a good friend, I guess I usually. But now that we're past that bullshit, sorry, that one was just hell. You already know, if Rook ditches, I gotta let a little bit out, a little bit of personality out, and that one kind of explains why at times I'm a little bit back and forth on some of my tones and shit, because I don't even always know how I'm gonna feel and shit, and yeah. So yeah, that's a little weird, but that out of the way. That's been said. That's known now. But I've gone down my own damn rabbit hole. But I'm starting to have a little bit more fun here. I'm starting to feel a little bit more, Damn those flaky sons of guns, man. It's always going to be like this. I'm always going to make fun of them for that. But, yeah. After that, I think, well, I've already given a hashtag gay for a day. Oh, there was supposed to be a sexy street fight, but I forgot to put up the poll because I think I may have had the feeling that those guys were going to flake on me. Yeah, there have been a lot of ideas that we've had that we've kind of thrown away just because we can't get together to do them. We haven't done the punishments yet. We've missed a lot of stuff, but we will get back to a lot of those. The habanero punishment is going to be coming. But yeah, I think I just wanted to share that story just because I know we don't, like I said, I know we don't tell much about us, and I know we're usually just kind of cracking wise and just kind of interrupting each other, and you know what I mean, just trying to, I guess try to draw up anger from each other as much as possible, but in a funny, lighthearted manner. And yeah, I think that might be it for today, because I think I've had my fun. I think I might have gone on a bit too much of a roller coaster. You probably won't see links for this episode like on anything. I'll probably just I probably won't even put this one in the spotlight. It'll probably just be uploaded and that'll be it. But if you've listened to this far, well, thank you. Thanks for giving me a shot by myself. And yeah, don't tell the guys about. Well, I'm not gonna even tell the guys because they don't pay enough attention to actually know if an episode's been uploaded and recorded without them. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But yeah, most of the I think that it was already kind of pretty obvious that I usually do most of the hard work behind this. Rook does the Instagram, yeah, but even then he gets pretty lax on there too. I don't know. We all take breaks from social media every now and then. You got to, because otherwise you go down such a deep rabbit hole that you don't even want to come out at a certain point. You're just like, I'm just going to keep following whatever's going on here. And, oh, my God. But, yeah, we've been trying to get more involved and get more active. And, yeah, we actually ordered our first business cards, actually, too. They look so cheesy. But we went as cheap as possible I think that's our attempt to try to find some locals. But, yeah, thanks for sticking around. Remember, hit up, bossboxes.store, they got some cool gaming gear and all that, grips, and there's some of those boxes, they even have like fidget spinners and energy drinks, and they had candy and shit too. Yeah, but yeah, check them out. Promo code JNTBAG, I guess you could use for 10% discount. And yeah, check out Random Ramblings with Rob's podcast. Look him up on Twitter and all that stuff. Find us on Twitter at JNT Podcast. On Instagram at JustinTime_JNT. And we do have a Facebook page. You can just find us on Facebook. Give the page a like. And I'm going to put a goal up there for, because we've talked about doing the group thing. Let's say if the page gets up to 75 likes, we'll start a Facebook group for the page, or for the rabbit hole group that we've been talking about starting for so long. And yeah, another thank you, also huge thank you again to John friggin' Smith for not only for the intros, but for being such a great listener too, for, you know what I mean, and for forgiving so many of our mistakes, audibly speaking. Our mistakes, my mistakes. Yeah, all the technical difficulty things are usually my bad. I don't know shit about. I'm learning. I'm slowly learning, bit by bit, trying to get it better. But yeah, I think that might be it for today, for this week. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Thanks for giving me a shot by myself. And yeah, next week should be accompanied by at least. Honestly, if neither of those guys show up, I'm going to hit up my buddy at Real Paul Martin on Twitter and see if he'll jump on Skype and record with me. Maybe, if, you know what I mean, if these other guys flake on me. Because by myself is very weird. I got to be able to stop and let somebody else talk for a little while. This is just, I've never been that much of a speech giver, which is sad because I actually had to take a speech class in college and actually was not doing too bad. I dropped out before the final and they still wanted to give me a C. I made a mistake and dropped out. So, yeah. Thanks again for joining us. Hit us up, social media. Let us know what you think. I think most people know SoundCloud has been kind of doing some things lately, so we may be having to put some contingencies in place, and we'll keep you updated if that happens. And yeah, so yeah, thank you very much, and yeah, hit us up. Let us know what you think. Yeah, blah blah blah. And yeah, we'll see next week. There will be an episode. Just don't know who. Love you guys. And yeah. Don't tell the guys I did this.